Welcome to Jump Scare Rewind. This is the show where I speak with fellow cinemaniacs about their mutual affection for all things scary movies. Today's guest
on Jump Scare Rewind is writer, director, and producer and actor Joe Bandelli. He is the CEO and founder of the production company Marylous Boys. Raised by a single mother, he took a swing at joining the Secret Service. But after being told his colorblindness would be an issue, he turned to his first passion, the movies. Dumb and Dumber and Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None first inspired his desire to create, launching him into the world of film, television, new media, and live production. He's dedicated to passionate and diverse storytelling. He primarily works in horror and horror comedy. With his most notable works being the HELL HOUSE LLC franchise, the behind-the-scenes tell-all documentary about paranormal activity, unknown dimension, and a satirical take on the Cabin in the Woods movies, Another Cabin in the Woods movie. He also plays the HELL HOUSE LLC Clown in that franchise. He most recently directed the horror short, The Sequence, and produced the awesome psychological horror thriller, IMPOSTERS, in which Ian has a wee role. Most importantly, though, he is a loving daddy and hubby. Everyone, please welcome Joe Bandelli.
Joe Bandelli.
That was the best intro I've ever had in my entire life. So thank you for that.
Of course, you've done so much stuff.
Thank you.
Yes. Like I said in the intro, we met because through the audition process for Imposters, and we met finally in person at the South by Southwest premiere of that film.
Correct.
Can you tell people about that movie and where they might be able to see it someday?
Yeah, so Imposters was a sci-fi horror blend movie that I was asked to be a part of a few years ago. It's written and directed by Caleb Phillips, and my two partners on it, the two producing partners from Broken Pig, Tom Bond and Sarah Seligman, asked me to join and be a part of the team and see what we can do to get Imposters out there. And so we joined, I think we shot in, was it late 2024? And yeah, and so interestingly enough, on set, I had my first kidney stone ever. So on day one, I had to leave set for 3 days and miss 3 days because of that. And then at the end, in the middle of the shoot is when I found out my wife was pregnant. And then at the end of the shoot, I missed the last 3 days because my wife was having massive labor complications, or not pregnancy complications. And like we thought we were going to lose a baby. So I left. And that's why I didn't meet you on set, because the day you were on set was the day that I left to go back and make sure my wife was okay.
A good excuse to leave. I'm glad you left.
But long story short, I guess too late, right? I basically baby's good. Everything worked out all right. And the movie came together, and I was a really big part of bringing together a nice collaboration of people in post-production to get Imposters to where we wanted it to be. And we had an awesome reception at South by Southwest, as I'm sure you know. And as of now, the movie's been getting great critical reviews. We want people to go on Rotten Tomatoes and see it. We're currently in the festival market, and I believe we're going to be in it until probably late October, early November. I think Sitges in Spain is the last festival that I think we'll be playing. Tom, Sarah, and myself are in talks regularly with distributors, and I believe we're looking for at least some form of limited theatrical release, hopefully the end of this year, if not next year.
It is so good. Like, I'm a very wee part of this film at the beginning, and usually when I have any part of a film that I see at a premiere or a festival, I can't get into it.
Right.
And I had read this whole script and I got so absorbed. I love horror, psychological sci-fi thriller. And I was so sucked in. It is so good. I can't wait for people to see it. It is so good.
Yeah, the story was great. And listen, this was one of those things where, I think the people who got on board originally got on board because of a good script and because of people seeing talent and seeing Caleb being capable and believing in his vision. And I think every step of the way, we had an amazing cast. You guys were great. Obviously, we were led by Jessica and Charlie.
And they were amazing. They were amazing.
Right. And then our crew, which was mostly a Massachusetts crew, were phenomenal and really the joke that's been kind of running around is that we had we didn't have, I always say the movie was a sub-million movie. We had a $10 million crew for a sub-million movie. And so that, yeah, I know. So that was great. And then in post-production, from Nick Landa, our editor, Alex Winkler, our composer, James Parnell, our sound soup, to our Storm, our visual effects team, and our post supervisor, Dylan. Everyone was so, anytime the film got to the next person or the next level, it elevated, and it just kept elevating and elevating and elevating. And I think we've been very fortunate and very grateful to, a lot of people have ideas and a lot of people try to do these things and they fail, or they don't have money, or they can't figure things out. And we just kind of had a really, really good group of people that believed in something. And I think the hard work and dedication from the entire team you see on screen.
I didn't take your baby. I don't know where he is, but I know how you can get him back.
Why are you telling us this?
I want you to tell me what you see.
What happened?
I told you I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No. I'm sorry. No!
I can't wait for other people to see it. It is so good. So you, well, first I want to ask you one question about the Secret Service. What was that?
Oh yeah, that was fun. So I don't know why, but I always had this dire need to like serve our country and be a part of our country. But let me just say, we won't go politically, but I'll just say this. I'm so glad I do not work for the Secret Service in our current state of our government.
I know I might step aside. Sorry.
So, but yeah, I always had this need. My grandfather was in the Army, and I always had this kind of, I was in ROTC. I always kept coming back to things, but I never really wanted to like sign on the line and commit a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And ultimately I wanted to work for the federal government. I wanted to work for the FBI. One of my really close friends growing up, his dad ran one of the local offices in the Northeast for the FBI. And so I was really into that. And I really like I'm sure most people over the course of 20 years, I wanted to work in, murder. I wanted to, do serial killers. That's kind of
solving these things, not doing.
No, I wanted to murder people and then solve it. No, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
So like profiling and things like that, that was really interesting. And so as I started, college and working my way through college and everything, film and TV was always the thing that I kind of, every now and then I was like, let me go to this film school and like audition, or let me go to this school, because I acted as well. But I was always like, I didn't know what. I just know that it brought me a lot of joy. And
starting with Dumb and Dumber,
first film that gave me joy, not necessarily the first thing that gave me joy.
Okay. It's a great movie. It is a great movie.
It is a great movie. But yeah, and so I started along this path. I got into the uniform division for the Secret Service, and right after I got in, which was like a 1.5 year process, they sent me, this was in Trenton, New Jersey. They sent me to New York because they wanted to check on something with my eyes. And I knew that you have to have 20/20 vision and you can have corrective surgery. And so I had LASIK about 3 months before I started working there, or before I applied. So I assumed they were going to say, hey, we just want to check and make sure your LASIK is good or whatever. But as I walked into the doctor's office in New York, immediately saw color wheels all over the wall. And I was like, they're testing me for color blindness. And I knew I had a partial colorblind variation since I've known it since second grade. And man, I tell you, the amount of paperwork, time, effort that you put into this whole process, literally the first page of the application, like you have to get through one part and get accepted and then keep moving on. The first thing was like 4 questions. And it was like, have you ever committed a felony? Have you ever done drugs? Have you ever blah, blah, blah? And if you said yes to any of those questions, you're an automatic disqualifier. I would have wished they would have added a 5th question, would have said, do you have any form of color variation or color blindness?
Because you went through that process for a year.
The whole process. And I remember in the room with the doctor, because he didn't know who I worked for. He just knew I was someone from the federal government.
Sure.
And I remember I did the test. I remember him telling me I failed the test. And I remember him explaining what my issues were. And again, all stuff I knew. And I looked a little down and he was like, hey, don't worry about it. He's like, most of these agencies, they just want to know where you stand on the spectrum of this. So it's probably not that big of a deal because you don't work for the Secret Service or anything like that. And man, if I tell you, every contact I had at the Secret Service, like cut me off as if like I was like a leper or something. Like not even like a hey. Yeah, not even like a hey, sorry about that. Oh, absolutely. It crushed me. I don't know how
man.
to describe this, but when you build yourself up mentally to get to
Sure.
a point where you are willing to do something where you could sacrifice your life for other people, and then someone says you're not good enough to do that, or you
That's
can't
crazy.
do that because it's something you have no control over. I was into like, that sucked. And that was probably end of 2007 and
Okay.
early 2008. And in the meantime, I graduated college and I had a friend who was like, hey, you don't want to be flipping burgers, come work for me at Merrill Lynch. And like, so I got into finance, which I hated. And so
Yeah.
I found myself in a place where I was working at Merrill Lynch, and then eventually I was working at BlackRock. I was doing these 9-to-5s. Every lunch I would go out to my car and eat by myself. Every night I would go home and I would just watch movies over and over and over again. And that was the only thing that brought me joy. And when this happened, I was like, what am I going to do? And
God.
Right around that time was when Heath Ledger passed away. And it was like January of 2008 before The Dark Knight came out. And I just went back and I watched all of his movies. And it's funny enough, I've never told anyone this, but I, being the scared boy that I was, I never saw Brokeback Mountain because I was like, ooh, am I gay if I watch that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to watch that. And I went and I watched the movie, and I thought it was one of the best movies I'd ever seen. And I thought the performances were so real. And
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful love story. And I was so mad that I hadn't watched it before. And I got to that point where I said, screw it. I'm gonna go to film school, and I'm gonna do the thing that I always needed to do. And the only choice I had to make was, do I go in for acting or do I go in for filmmaking? And I literally flipped a coin, and filmmaking won.
But you have done some acting, which can I'll segue into this. You are and I didn't know this when I met you. I learned after that you are the HELL HOUSE LLC clown.
Correct.
That's amazing. Why do you do other things? You could just travel around in conventions now, just like I'm the clown and sign autographs.
I get it, and it's not why I got into this. Like, so it's fun and it's a cool thing to do, and I have no shade at anyone who does those kinds of things.
I would do it.
Yeah. But I didn't. When we made HELL HOUSE, I was the producer on HELL. So I was the sole producer of the entire franchise. I never ever did that movie so that people could see me as an actor. That's why, and I play multiple roles in it, but I did it out of necessity, not out of, this is something I want to do to showcase. Maybe
budget wise too. You're like, I don't have to pay me.
Exactly. Like, I remember when we got through, we did 5 of them. And when we got through the 3rd one, I remember we were getting to the 4th, and the 4th is like an origin story for the clown. And I remember Stephen Cognetti, my partner, the guy who wrote and directed them, him throwing casts, like audition tapes at me and saying, who do you want for the clown? And I was like, I thought I was just going to do it again. And he's like, yeah, but don't you hate it? And I was like, no, I actually like it. And he was like, oh, okay, then we're just not going to take any of these people, which, sorry to those actors. But yeah, so I
wouldn't give it up either.
Yeah. And it's funny, when we finished the franchise, I say finished because nothing's ever finished.
Sure.
And one of the things that I told Steve, because Steve owns the IP, was I asked him if, I have a right of first refusal as a producer in case he ever licenses it or sells the IP. But I was like, can you give me a right of first refusal as the clown? And he was like, sure, no problem. So, because how often does, and again, we'll get into it, as I'm sure, when we talk through slasher films and what we're going to talk through today. But how often does one person play someone who wore a mask in a horror franchise?
Not often.
It's rare.
For a few films, maybe, yeah.
Right. And so to have a right of first refusal to play a mask in something,
that's
amazing.
That
was something that made me laugh, and I'm glad he gave me that option to do that. So that was a lot of fun.
When you jumped into this, though, I think at the point that HELL HOUSE came out, the found footage, subgenre had been somewhat played out, I think, by that point.
Correct. Yeah.
Did you have any idea you were onto something, or were you like, we'll take a swing at this? How did you have any idea what you had?
So when Steve gave me the first rendition of HELL HOUSE LLC, it was a narrative feature, and I read it, I liked it, but I was like, because he came to me with 3 things. He said, number 1, I have a script. He said, number 2, I know where we're going to shoot this, and number 3, I have $50,000. And he's like, that's what I have. And I was like, okay, great. And so I read the script, and my immediate first note to him was, there's no way we can make this movie for $50,000. It's no way. Just lodging and food alone for this
as a narrative,
impossible. And so he was like, all right, I think I'm going to try to do it found footage. And me being I was a horror fan, but I wasn't necessarily a found footage horror fan.
Sure.
And I think there were so many found footage movies, but at that point, the big two were like the two that I really recognized, which is Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
And so I took it upon myself after reading his script to kind of immerse myself in it. And from that moment until present day, I love the genre. I feel like there are people like us who have like beaten it to its death. And I think, you know, there's one thing that one of the biggest things that I'm most proud of is, number one, usually writer, director, and producer does not stay the same throughout an entire franchise. Mm-hmm. We were able to make 5 of those movies, 4 of them being found footage, 1 not. Although I wish it was found footage. We were able to make 5 movies in a franchise, a successful franchise that was, you know, in essence licensed to Shudder. We were able to make a successful franchise, a scary franchise, and maintain our creative core throughout the entire thing.
Unbelievable.
Which no one, that's not really heard of. And we were able to keep it indie and actually keep it small and do 10-day shoots, have 10-person crews. Like, we were really able to manage the budget and figure these things out. And so, yeah, when I just got brought into it, I thought, you know, okay, cool, we'll give that a shot. But as we were making it and as I was immersing myself in it, I realized Steve did a really smart thing, because he tackled the genre that, although a ton of people had made so many things over the last 5 years to try to replicate what Paranormal Activity did, no one really did it very well. And he was tackling a subgenre that didn't have a lot of movies that were known to the general public. And so that was the genius that I thought that he came up with. But the best part about it is everyone, like, it's become this cult franchise, and it's become this thing that every year for Halloween, it's on like scariest horror movies, best found footage.
That's
movies.
how I found it. Yeah.
And I always say to people, like, we made 3 of them by the time we started getting some form of notoriety and success from the first one. Like, it was 2019 when people started saying, like, hey, you should check out this movie. And I think Mike Flanagan, Jason Blum, and Scott Derrickson were the first 3 like big people to either tweet or be on X or something and say, hey, if you guys haven't seen this movie, you should check it out. And that was, once that happened, a lot of people started referring it to people and be like, you should check this out. But like, people really didn't even watch the movie until like 2019 or 2020, and we made it in 2014.
I certainly saw it probably like 2021 or something. I was resistant because I'm like, I've seen so many bad found footage movies. And then like, I'll give in the reviews. Like, it's on every list.
Right.
And the reviews were great. And it is so, that first one's so scary.
What happened that night? What is that?
It's everything.
Sarah, have you watched those? So you have no idea what's on them.
HELL HOUSE.
Look, there it is.
You have heard the rumors about this.
There are no rumors about this place. No rumors. We talked about this.
Hey, man. How many freaks do we have?
Things started to change.
We have no business being here.
Go back up! Go back up!
I don't know if I've seen all the other ones, but they're good.
There's some you can skip. There's some you can skip.
You don't have to tell me which one's here.
I think for anyone listening that's heard me or Steve talk, we're very, very, very transparent about which ones we think are the better ones and which ones we think are not.
Okay, so tell us. No, you don't have to tell us.
I'll give you the order. One, obvious. 1, 4.
What's so good? Okay.
4, the Carmichael Manor is the next one. And then I would go 3, 2, 5. That would be my order.
Okay. Wow, that's so crazy. You made so many. Has this led, because obviously you did Imposters. I assume it's gotten you attention as a producer. Has this led to some sort of traction in other opportunities?
It has, for sure. And I'm so grateful for those opportunities. The one thing it hasn't done for me, which is the biggest thing that I wish it did more, or I wish I would have known more to make maybe slightly different decisions along my career, is it basically, people in the horror industry know me as a producer, but I'm a writer-director first. And so, and I think Imposters is going to be a pretty decently successful movie. And so when you look at like the things that I've done, Hell House
Yeah.
and Imposters are probably going to be number 1 and number 2. And both of those are movies I produced. So I'm more known as a producer than I am as a filmmaker, writer, director. So that's the one thing that like, I'm like, oh man, I wish people would like actually go see the things that I directed. But at the same time, like I'm a part of a franchise. The reason why I think Tom and Sarah brought me on was because of my experience of making these Hell House movies by myself as the sole producer and figuring out how to get these things done. So yeah. And then the best part about it was the funniest thing is I directed the documentary about the making of the Paranormal Activity franchise.
Oh, that's right.
And that one's called Unknown Dimension and it's on Paramount Plus. And I got that because of Hell House. So yeah, it's opened doors for me. It's, I have relationships with people at Shudder, Blumhouse, Atomic Monster because of it. And I think luckily for both Steve and myself, it gives us some form of relevance so that people like take us seriously as filmmakers because you
just reference those.
Scary.
Everyone knows you can scare people. And how cool that you're working in your favorite genre.
Yeah.
You created. But you did. I just saw right before we popped on here that you posted.
We thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen.
So this is one you directed and I assume produced.
Yeah, no, I did not produce this. This was one when I was in the middle of a whole bunch of Hell House stuff and figuring out if I was going to be a part of Imposters and whatnot. This was Brian Laprasino, who's a writer-producer. He came to me and we were introduced through our cinematographer friend, Jonathan. And he basically said he's been trying to show his proof of concept and his script and get it made so that he can make the feature-length version. And he's never really connected with directors. And we sat down for 30 minutes of coffee to chat and it turned into 6 hours of coffee and he hired me on the spot. And so we shot the proof of concept. We did a little festival run with it. We were pretty decent with what we wanted. We got into Nightmare Fest and won for Best Short. We got into Screamfest. We got into Film Quest. And then we're in the Indie Short Festival where we've already been nominated for Best Short. And I believe that's this weekend. And so that's what I was plugging for that. And we're in the process of writing that to develop that into a feature-length film that would star Katie Parker, who's the lead in that movie.
Congrats. That's amazing. So you are doing more of what you want to do. Given this opportunity.
And I mean, I always tell people, like, especially, I mean, now that I have a wife and a child, it's much harder to do what I'm about to say. But like, put your hand, like the reason why Hell House came my way was I was in the process of getting ready to direct my first feature. And I had a friend come to me and say, hey, do you know anyone who produces in horror? And I said, maybe. Tell me why. And he said, oh, I have a friend. He's making this movie. It's called Hell House LLC, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, can you introduce him to me? Because I made a decision a really long time ago was I realized that like all of my favorite directors and all the people who I admired, they make a movie every 3 to 5 years. And I realized that like, I don't want to go like, I do think I'm a really good storyteller and I have great stories, but I also know that other people are talented and other people have great stories. And I didn't want to go through my life being like, okay, 1 decade has passed and I made 2 movies. I wanted to be like 1 decade has passed and I worked on 10 movies and I met a bunch of different people and our relationships grew and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I chose.
You've done it.
Thank you. But that's why I chose to like take on Hell House because I was like, let me flex this muscle. And I'm OCD. I'm type A. I'm the type of person that like I always knew that if something didn't work out in this field or this thing or whatever, I'm such a structured person that I would figure it out. And like that quality has helped me as a producer. It's helped me as a director too, but it's helped me tremendously as a producer. And again, that's why like literally if you do follow my history, you'll see I direct something, then I produce 1 or 2 things. I direct something and then I produce 1 or 2 things. And, unfortunately, the documentary about Paranormal Activity is probably the biggest thing that I've directed. But I have a couple things that I'm working on right now that hopefully, given all the birth and all the things health issues that have been going on with my family, I'm looking that either end of this year or early next year, I'll be directing my next feature.
Do you have one child?
I have one child. Yeah, I know.
Okay, they're very young.
Christ. Wait till
you that's well, no, 2 they kind of entertain each other, so that's the easier part.
Yeah,
but no, you're in the zone. So in like 20 years, you'll have more time.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Once they're off to college.
But I'm so excited to see what else you do coming down the road.
Thank you.
And you are in your East Coast, New Jersey. Where are you based?
I'm based in Sleepy Hollow, New York. So I'm 30 minutes north of the city. Yeah.
That's right. You had a screening there. Okay. So we're near
Yeah.
each other. I'm like, I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, not far at all. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like 40 minutes. So what movie specifically would you say got you into horror?
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. So we're going to come back to that in just a tiny bit. Have you seen any horror movies in the theater recently? I think given that you have a baby at home, probably not.
Yeah. Well, so this is the best part is I did obviously attend South by Southwest. I saw a lot of movies at South by Southwest.
Oh, that's right.
And
so like Hokum. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that I was really happy with. And like, I remember the first few days that I was there, I was seeing all of the like the ones that were screening at the Paramount, the big movies that were going to come out, like Hokum, Obsession, like those types of movies. But I realized like after day 2 or day 3, I'm like, I should go see all the midnight movies and I should go see all the things that are in the same programming as us. So I saw all the movies that were in the horror midnight section.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, if you're looking for recommendations, my favorite movie of the entire festival, my favorite feature of the entire festival was a movie called Never After Dark.
Never After Dark.
It is a Japanese horror movie, and the writer, director, and the cinematographer are the only two non-Japanese people. They're both American, and they made a movie in Japan, full Japanese cast, full Japanese crew, and it is so smart and so well done. And I found myself, I remember it was like a 10:50 or 11 o'clock screening, and I remember like being exhausted and being like sitting in the theater, and I think it started a little late, and I remember being like, man, maybe I should just go home and go to sleep. Like, I'm so tired. And I'm so glad I stayed. And I met the director, Dave Boyle, afterwards. And I think he just got a Paramount deal off of the movie. Wow. And I think he won the audience award for South by Southwest for that movie. Mm-hmm. But I highly recommend that movie to any horror fan. I'd say that, other than Imposters, that's the next one that anyone should sign up to see.
Asako.
And Obsession is really good too. I mean, I understand all the love that Curry Barker's getting and why he's going to direct the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Like his talent's undeniable. He's so good. And Obsession is another one. If you haven't seen, you should see.
I can't wait for that. Do you prefer to watch your scary movies in a crowded movie theater or home alone in the dark?
I'm like one of those purists. Like I got into the reason why I got into all this was when movies were an escape for me. Like whenever things weren't going well at home or things were struggles, it was always going to the movie theater. I have my element of sitting at my home and watching and doing that as well. But I think the experience, for a long time, I used to get mad because no one would stay quiet in the theater. And I'd be like, why doesn't everyone just shut up? Like, I want to watch this. But I also realized I was getting more upset watching comedies with people because people would laugh over the jokes and then you'd miss a bunch of jokes. And so that bothered me. But seeing a horror movie with an audience, like I can distinctly think of like Hereditary. The second the kid's head gets knocked off, everyone in that theater, dead silence. And I think there's a moment in The Quiet Place, dead silence. And it's like, those are a shared experience. And I think horror movies are meant to be seen with audiences. And I think there are a lot of times where you might even see a horror movie with an audience, love it, and then go home and watch it by yourself. And you're like, this movie wasn't as good as I thought it was, but it's because the movie was made for an experience.
That shared reaction.
Yeah, for sure. So,
but what about cell phones? I always mention cell phones. I went to Hokum the other day. The girl next to me has her phone in the cup holder, getting notifications and glowing every 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm surprised
I didn't say anything.
Throw it.
I always keep to myself and it drives me crazy.
Well, Quentin Tarantino's theater in LA, they have a rule that you can get kicked out and I think fined if you take out your cell phone, and they've enforced that pretty handedly. So I think I would love that. I think, again, there's a difference. Like if you're going to a movie and people are talking, that's distracting. If you're going to a movie and people are on their phone, that's distracting. If you're going to a movie and people are reacting emotionally to what's going on screen,
totally different.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And that helps the experience.
Yeah, I agree with that. So before we move on to your pick, I'm taking forever. I'm sorry.
No,
we have a little game or 3 little games. First one is name that horror movie poster. I'm going to show you one image super close, the next image further out, and the third image further out from there. If you get it wrong, if you get 3 dead deads, you lose.
Okay.
If you get 1 living dead, that means you have won. And we'll see what the poster is.
Do you know?
Are you
can
ready?
I tell you before we do this?
Yeah,
I think
please.
every horror filmmaker dreads doing these kinds of things because we're always like, oh man, no, we're gonna get stumped, and it's gonna be something obvious, and then everyone's gonna think we're not really horror fans. But I will say, I am a huge horror fan. But there is no way that people who have podcasts or love horror, there's no way that they don't know more than I do. Like they study this as an art form, and they study it more than, you know what I mean? Like I'm, and again, like my career is to make these things, and I study them to make them. But to watch them, there's not enough time in the day for me to consume. I've felt my entire career like I haven't been able to watch enough, and I'm always playing catch up. So that's my long story to be like, I'm probably going to fail at this.
I have the benefit of being older, so I've had more time to watch more horror movies. Okay, here we go. Here's the first one, and you get 3 hints you can ask for at any time.
Okay.
Here's the first image. What movie is this?
Oh, that's a mask. Kind of looks like Leslie Vernon a little bit, but it's probably not. Okay. Whew, all right.
You can get next image or hint, anything you want.
Give me a hint.
Okay, a hint. This is this director's 3rd feature film.
Okay, I want next image.
Okay, next image. Okay, it's a huge difference. Oh, wait, make sure I choose the right one. Okay.
Oof. Oh man, I feel like it's not The Strangers.
You're going to be so kicked out of the business. Oh my God.
I know.
You were so good.
Hint.
Okay, hint. The film's title refers to the medical condition known as spina bifida.
Oh God, I should know this. Oh,
maybe, maybe not.
I feel like I haven't seen this movie. That's why.
All right, it's so good.
Let's go to the next image.
Next image, and then you get 1 more hint before you're kicked out of the business.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see this movie. That's why.
Oh, it's so
hint.
Good. Okay, I'm going to give you another hint. This might not help. Takes place in 1939 in a country ravaged by civil war.
I don't know.
I'm going to direct it from the director of Mimic. Does that help?
No, it doesn't.
From the director of Kronos?
Nope. I failed this. I told you I did not see this movie, so I'm not sure.
From the director of Frankenstein? The more recent one? Okay. The Devil's Backbone. Oh, sorry. And that's a Dead.
I've never seen it. Oh,
it's so good. If you like ghost movies, this is such a good one.
You know what? I'm going to write it down right now and put it on my list.
And you should not be ashamed. I do not know every horror film. I just know I love this one.
No, I am not. I mean, if it was a movie I saw, I would be much more ashamed. Because I've never seen it, I feel good.
Okay, good. And you were probably like 6 years old when it came out. So
Yeah. And I also, like, if I'm being honest, Guillermo del Toro is one of those directors that I'm hit and miss. Sometimes I love his movies, and sometimes
agreed.
Yeah, so I feel like, there's certain directors that I've watched everyone in their catalog, and there's people that I haven't seen half of their movies.
This one I would say is my favorite. His Blade 2 I really liked as well. Yeah. And other ones not quite as much. I like Pans, but I couldn't get into Frankenstein. That's just me.
Yeah. I haven't watched Frankenstein yet because 1, I don't have the time, and 2, everyone keeps telling me what you just said, and I'm like, do I want to spend my time watching them? I mean, I know I have to see it for my own self at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
Okay. His movies look pretty. I will give him that for all of them. Okay. Next game. Name that horror movie tagline. I think this might be easier. And again, you get hints and 3 deads if you lose.
Fair.
Okay. Here it is. 6 soldiers, full moon, no chance.
I know the name. I know. Oh man.
I think you know this one. It's more of your general. Well, they're both kind of, I guess, at the same time. But 6 soldiers, full moon,
obviously
no chance.
It's a werewolf movie.
Okay.
Am I wrong on that?
I'm not trying to influence you.
Let's get a hint.
Okay, I'm going to leave it up there on the screen while I say the hint. Simon Pegg was initially offered a part in the film, but turned it down because he was offered Edgar Wright's Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, so it's a later movie then. Okay.
Yeah.
Later movie, like early 2000s.
There you go. Six Soldiers, Full Moon, No Chance.
Okay, what came out in the... There's one movie that I'm thinking about with soldiers. I can't remember the title of it though.
Could that word be in the title?
I don't know. It's the opening sequence of the movie is them falling out of the helicopters. Or coming. Is that the movie? Am I
think
right?
You're on the right track.
Shit, I can't remember the name of it.
You have half the name of it.
Do I?
Oh wait, actually I forgot. Didn't we have one Dead? Did we have a Dead?
One. We had
okay. Dead for one. Okay. Do you want another hint? Though you so know it. Okay. It is the director's feature film debut. Should we go another hint?
Yeah.
Hit in the UK, but did not get a theatrical release in the US, but it has found a cult following and set in Scotland, but was filmed in Luxembourg.
Oh God, I know this.
Oh, you do know it. Yeah, I think you know it.
I do know it. It's not.
Should we just? You got it. I'm going to give it to you because you obviously know it. Getting the I wouldn't know it either.
Yeah.
Dog Soldiers.
Yeah. Oh God damn it! I'm so mad at myself.
No, I don't think I would have come up with the title either. And it's such a fun movie.
Yeah. Fuck.
It's okay. Okay,
we have a third game. I'm going to fail your third game too.
No, I think you're going to get it. This one, I'm going to show you. Sometimes I'll show a quote from Ebert, from Siskel and Ebert. Yeah. This time I'm going to show you a clip from their show arguing about a film. I want you to guess what the film is. Here,
one thing disintegrates, and it's a big moment, and we see it all turn into this.
You're ignoring the paradox of rising expectations in special effects films. This is 1985. You can't have Vincent Price putting one stake through one heart anymore. You got to have all that.
I'd settle for two, not 200.
Also, partially, it's satirical. For example, when the
dog is satirical, was that satirical when the dog is running around? That wasn't satirical. That was gross.
So let it be gross.
Okay, so there's a dog. My initial thought was Evil Dead 2, but
okay,
yeah, so it's not that. But
wait, was Evil Dead 2 an actual guess? No, Cujo was the guess. That is a Dead.
Okay. So it's
but year-wise, you're in the right territory. They did give away the year.
It's 85. So okay.
Do you want to hear it again? There's more clues in there.
Yeah. Let me hear it.
Okay, here we go.
One thing disintegrates, and it's a big moment, and we see it all turn into this.
You're ignoring the paradox of rising expectations in special effects films. This is 1985. You can't have Vincent Price putting one stake through one heart anymore. You got to have all that.
I'd settle for two, not 200.
Also, partially, it's satirical. For example, when the
dog is satirical, was that satirical when the dog is running around? That wasn't satirical. That was gross.
So let it be gross.
Is it a vampire movie?
Okay, you got that part of it.
Okay.
Most of its 9.5 million budget went to special effects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you these two hints together, and it was the highest grossing horror film of the summer of '85.
Man,
in my book, it is a classic, one of my childhood favorites. And it is I'll give you another one, the director's feature debut.
Yeah, that's not going to do it for me. I'm trying to think.
He went on to direct Child's Play.
Oh, who directed Child's Play? I forgot that.
The director of this movie.
That's what I'm telling you. This is the having a child and forgetting everything.
And I'm older than you. This was a staple of my childhood.
I honestly can't tell you.
Let's see if I have any more. Director's debut. Oh, I think this might give it away. Starred Susan Sarandon's ex-husband.
Ed Harris?
No, it had a similar name to Susan Sarandon, but not the first name.
Oh, right, yeah. Chris, right?
Yes.
Chris Sarandon? Is that?
He goes to all the conventions because of this movie.
Oh, shit.
I went to a convention. He had the longest line next to everyone. I'm like, really? I guess because of Nightmare Before Christmas as well. I don't mean to. I'm torturing you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I feel like I know it's where he plays Dracula. I can't fucking remember the name of the. I'm sorry. Is it?
It's not.
Fright Night. Fright Night.
That is. Oh, you got to get your Living Dead. That is a Living Dead.
Sorry.
I'm so proud of you.
I was at a convention as the Hell House Clown and he was there. So I don't know. I'm telling you, I have a kid and it all changes.
No, I get it. I so get it. I have 2 kids, so I totally understand, especially in the phase you're in. It's such a classic.
I forgot about the dog.
Yeah, the guy too. I mean, I was thinking that might throw you off because it says he's running around. It's like a wolf comes out and gets stabbed.
Right. Yeah. So.
That's a great sequence, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, finally, I'm going to let you talk about the movie you came on to talk about. What movie do you want to talk about today?
Let's talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I like that movie. So let's go to the trailer quickly, and then we can discuss it a little bit.
Sure.
Here is the Elm Street trailer.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
You just see cuts happen.
What did happen, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Tina! What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No!
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
So you said this film is the reason you fell in love with horror. What? Never sleep again? Oh, that's amazing. That would make me not sleep again. That must have hurt.
Freddy goes a long way in this house.
Wait, is there some there's some Halloween on there too, isn't there?
I got Michael Myers.
Oh man. If I could take pain, I would do that too, but I'm a woman. So why this film?
So when I think this movie came out in 1984. I was born in 1984. I saw this movie, 1985, right?
Yeah, the year after you. Yes.
I think I saw this in 1988. And
oh my God!
If you're doing the math, I should not have seen.
You were so young.
So my mom was putting herself through college, and she was a single mom and raised my brother and I. My brother's 2.5 years older than me, and she dated an army and a sergeant in the army, and he was very much like, you boys have to be men, you have to be tough. So when she was at class one night, he held us down and forced us to watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that's so cruel.
Yeah. Funny enough, I actually have told many people that and I've said it on podcasts before because people always ask what's the original movie or whatever.
Sure.
And my mom was visiting as she left this morning. And I asked her last night, I was like, because I knew we were going to talk about this. And I was like, hey, by the way, do you know, and I said his name, which probably I shouldn't say, just whatever. But I was like, hey, do you know that in like the late 80s, he held Adam and I down and like made us watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and like the look on my mom's face, and I was like, you probably would have broken up with him. She's like, broken up with him? She's like, I would have shot him. And I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, because my mom was super protective of us, but I remember we were probably afraid to tell my mom because of the way he was with us. And so I just remember being terrified. I remember my brother was terrified. I remember my brother having a dream and he hit his nose in the dream and he started bleeding and he was moving back and forth. And in his dream, he was saying Freddy's going to get him. And he woke up with all over his face. And like, there was just so many things. But as we got a little bit older, when I was, maybe in middle school, I just didn't understand why it scared me so much. And I remember telling a friend, and he told me that Nightmare on Elm Street scared him a lot when he was younger too. So I was like, let's rent it from Blockbuster. And my mom had a rule. My mom said always, I will rent you anything you want as long as you stay in our house and you are home watching it and you're not out and you're not going somewhere else. And that was, I guess, a protective mom trying to keep me home. So I watched a lot of movies I shouldn't have watched, and my mom was okay with it. And so I spent a summer watching all the Nightmares, all the Halloweens, all the Friday the 13th, all the Child's Plays.
Best summer ever.
It's such an awesome summer. But I walked away from that summer being like, a lot of these movies aren't scary. They're kind of funny and campy now.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of like started me going in the, oh, like these movies don't always stand the test of time. What's unique about them? And then being like, oh, it's the special effects. It's the storytelling. It's this. And that's kind of a way to get me into storytelling originally. And I remember, like, even to this day, I went full into it, and my brother is still afraid to watch horror movies. And it's so funny that that's how it all came together. But yeah, I mean, and I also, like, I'm 42 now, and like I have multiple sleep disorders. Sleep has been a thing that has always fascinated me because I never really understood what I've had to go through. I've done like what Nancy does a sleep study. I've done that numerous times.
Even when you were young, this was an issue?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
okay.
I feel like psychologically and subconsciously, I'm sort of connected with this movie in ways that I never really understood until I got older. So that's why for me, because even, I rewatched it again I usually watch it once a year, but I rewatched it again when we said we were going to watch it. And I remember, like, I say it every time I watch it, I don't blame someone who's watching that movie today for the first time if they say they don't like this movie. Like, I don't blame them. I get it. Like, there's so much stuff that like is encapsulated by that era and by being in that time. But I think there's so many things that we're going to talk about that I think Wes Craven did in terms of how he set that movie and that killer apart from every other killer in the slasher genre of that time.
The movie, looking back at it now, the movie does look lower budget. Yeah. I mean, they shot this thing for $1.8 million and it's still making money. Yep. I remember the trailer coming on TV. I was 12 when it came out, so I'm not a year younger than you. I know you thought that. I was 12. I was scared. I think I mentioned before the movie The Changeling and Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Helped me fall in love with horror. This movie solidified it, even though I know that's not the order they came out in.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Freddy movies. I have The Glove.
I actually have The Glove too. One of my girlfriends from like 10 years ago, she found the guy who made the glove for the second movies. I think he's in like the Netherlands or something. He makes them custom to your hand. So you send your hand measurements and he makes a cut. So I have a custom Freddy glove. It's like my favorite prop thing that I own. It's like,
I just have the Necco one. Not fair. Do you want to trade? We could totally trade. I'll take care of your baby for a night. You can go out. All right. Maybe. And I have the candy dish.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
I was obsessed. Like, I love these all the way through the third one. When the third one came out, it peaked. I made this like little coloring book, and I should have scared my mom how much. I also raised by a single mom. So
single moms unite.
Yeah. But yeah, tell me more.
You know what's funny? So you were 12 when that came out. I was 12 when Scream came out, and Scream did for me what Nightmare on Elm Street did for you, but it also solidified for me why Nightmare on Elm Street was so important to me, specifically because it's the same director.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I remember when Scream came out, I was actually disappointed because it leaned into the comedy so much. I'm like, no, I want dark. I want Freddy.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's another interesting thing, which I'm sure we'll talk about. We can start now if you want.
Yeah.
Is like when you think of Nightmare on Elm Street, you think Freddy Krueger, and everyone thinks of Freddy Krueger, and the mythology behind Robert Englund playing that character. And again, similar to like what we were talking about with Hell House, like it wasn't fully a mask. It was prosthetics. It was makeup. But he's the only person who played Freddy Krueger because it was his face. And so, but the thing that is so fascinating to me is that this is a slasher character that has stood the test of time. And over the mythology, we learned who this character was. And that's what turned it into $1 billion franchise. And that's what made everyone fall in love. But the original Freddy Krueger in that movie, you might watch that movie and go, oh, he is kind of funny and he's showing elements of his humor, but he's cruel. Like his
Yes.
humor is more cruel and like scary and terrorizing than it is kind of comical and like making fun of it. Like that came later as the character evolved over time. But the original Freddy Krueger was like terrifying and was like taunting you, but like really, really cruel and like, and there was malice, and you could tell that when you watch the movie that he's not trying to have fun. He's trying to like hurt you.
Yeah, and feed off of the terror that he's in putting on these people. Did you, not to get away from this one, but did you think the second one? I found the second one actually to be the scariest of them, though it's a weird movie.
I think the second one is probably one of my least favorite ones, but it is one of the scarier ones. And like even when he jumps up out of the pool, like that's that's a moment that. Like,
it's so good.
Like, yeah, that is when he's just like slashing everyone and like, but yeah, all of like the which I know it has like a massive subtext of like coming out of the closet and homosexuality, which is I think the reason why
I didn't realize that at the time.
Me neither, but I think I think that's why the public shied away from it, because they were like, we can't talk about this stuff. But I think a lot of the shower scenes, a lot of the stuff with Mark alone.
Oh yeah, with the towel.
Terrifying. Those were really, really scary. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I think I always tell people, number one is my favorite. Dream Warriors is very close to my second favorite.
That was my
and
second
then Wes
too.
Craven's Zoo Nightmare is right there. Because again, when Wes Craven came back and directed it, the difference between Wes Craven's New Nightmare and all the other iterations of sequels is Wes Craven's New Nightmare was scary, and it brought back that malice and it brought back that terror and what he originally intended to do with Freddy Krueger.
I only saw that once. I have to rewatch that because I did not care for it when I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's following the same Scream setup of meta in this whole meta universe and everything. So if you don't, I'm not saying you don't like Scream, but if you don't,
I do
like
now.
that,
I do more now.
Right, but if you don't like that meta, we're talking about the thing that we made. I get why people wouldn't like it, but it actually is genuinely scary. And Freddy is scary again. Is not just generic funny, and not generic funny. He's obviously iconic, but he's not funny and comical. He's trying to like hurt them.
Yeah, as we went into like the fourth, the fifth, it just became so goofy. In the sixth,
yeah. And
were there like scenes like
do you remember the Power Glove?
I don't. Which one was that?
That was the sixth one. I think it was the
3D one, right?
When he killed, yeah. I think it was either that one or the fifth. It was when he killed Breckenmeyer. He put on because Nintendo had this Power Glove that you would play like Nintendo on, and they had like the mock of him doing the Power Glove kind of thing. It was silly.
So silly. There were scenes in this movie that I remember from that original trailer with the stairs and the feet going into the gooey stairs, and then the stretchy wall. Like those things are etched into my memory. When watching the movie, I watched it again yesterday in 4K for the first time.
Nice.
I was just like, these moments I remember just terrifying me. And I thought, considering this budget, it's incredible they could make this dream world that actually worked.
Right. Yeah. And I'm fascinated by it too, because I think I say this when I talk about Paranormal Activity as well, but I think I'll use the comparison just so I can say it. Blair Witch Project was it wasn't the first found footage movie, but it was the first one to have an impact on like society in such a general way. And obviously that was because of .com, them hiding people, them creating this illusion that this witch exists. So you didn't know if it was real or not. But when you watch Blair Witch, you could be scared of it, but then you go home and you're safe. Oren Peli took that concept and brought it into your house with Paranormal Activity. And you can't escape the sounds in your house. You can't escape sleep. You can't escape all that stuff. That's why Paranormal Activity was so successful. Wes Craven did that same thing years before with Freddy Krueger. He did that same thing because if you look at 1984 and you look at the horror movies that were coming out around then, I think it was it 79 with Halloween? It was 79 with Halloween and 74 with Black Christmas. That this whole thing of like, let's do, I see your poster back there too. So is that Black Christmas behind you?
Oh no, that's Prom Night. I love Black Christmas is so great though. Love it.
So basically it became, after these characters started, like after Halloween and after Black Christmas, it was like generic slasher. And I think what Wes Craven did was he made a movie that was a concept-driven movie, and he took the thing that scares all of us. Like you can, like with Halloween, you can maybe go to the wrong house, or maybe you don't go to the wrong house, so you're safe. Friday the 13th, if you don't go to Camp Blood, you're safe. If you don't live in that sorority house, you're safe. Like you could like get away from those things, and like the terror can be on the screen, but you can get away. no one can escape their dreams. Like no one can escape the thing
We
that you have to do
over that.
Yeah, exactly. And so that he brought that element in, and he made it so that, because slasher movies before then were body count movies. And even though Freddy has a body count, and even though the Nightmare on Elm Street movies have body counts, it's more about the psychological effects of this dream scenario and like being in a world that is somewhat unique and something unusual. Like even him with his arms outstretched, like you might look at that and be like, that's silly. But the whole reason why that shot and that is in there is to show you something is off from this. Like it is real world, but something is off. And I think what the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise has done, but more specifically this first one, is it does that thing where you're watching a scene play out with your protagonist or with your character, and you don't know if they're awake or if they're asleep. And that element is terrifying. And I think that's what he added. He added psychology and he added concept to a body count genre, which made it elevated and made it smarter. And I think that's the reason why Nightmare on Elm Street, aside from Robert Englund being, iconic, that's the reason why Nightmare on Elm Street, in my opinion, stands above all of those other movies. But I think it's also, for people who don't agree with that, it's also why it's usually in people's top 2 or 3 movies of all time. Like it'll be up there with Jason and it'll be up there with Michael Myers.
Oh,
but
for sure.
That's the reason why, in my opinion, because it's elevated.
It never dawned on me I mean, maybe it should have, that was the reason, because it's true. There's no way you can escape it. And just don't go to Crystal Lake, and then you'll be fine. And
you're fine. By the way, isn't it funny that the slasher genre is about real killers, and the 3 biggest slasher movies of all time are actually supernatural movies and not technically slashers? Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street. All of those killers are supernatural. All of them.
From the beginning, are they? Yeah, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you don't know it, but like, obviously Michael Myers can't die. Like he gets multiple times in Halloween, he gets shot or stabbed and he survives. So that, even though they don't come out and say it, they call him the boogeyman, and that's supernatural. Jason survives decades of all this stuff and comes back for revenge, and that's obvious at the end of the first one, even though he's not the main killer. And then Freddy comes in your dreams. So it's all, I always found it funny because historically a slasher genre is Scream. It's someone in a mask that you know, or a whoudunit, or someone in your
Scooby-Doo
killing everyone. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I always find it funny that whenever people talk about the big 3, you rarely hear people talk about the fact that they're actually all supernatural elements within the slasher genre.
You're totally right. Again, I was thinking Elm Street was the one, but yeah.
Whoa,
you're you may not come up with a couple of those titles at the beginning, but you're altering my mind on these. Is there anything else, any other thoughts you want to share on this?
On Nightmare?
Yeah.
I think
you have to.
I think one of the coolest things for me when I was rewatching it is Freddy isn't the villain in this movie. He's kind of the consequence of the villain. Like the villains are the parents. And again, the slasher genre has showed us if you do drugs, if you do all the bad teenager things, you're going to get killed. And I think this movie showed that, but I think this movie did the one thing that those other movies did, which showed you that the parents can't be trusted. And I think the movie, the sequence that I did that movie because the movie is about parenting and it's about communication with your children. And I think that's what Nightmare on Elm Street is. I think Freddy is a result of bad parenting, not communicating, and hiding things from your kids. Because ultimately, and this as a parent, and I'm learning this, you can shelter your kids as much as possible. But if something is if they're gonna be exposed to something, whether you shelter them or not, they're gonna get exposed to it. And I think that's why I like that, the thinking about it in terms of like psychological aspect. Freddy isn't the villain; he's the consequence. He's the result of the parents' actions. And I think that to me was just fascinating because again, you look at a movie, it's not just this guy who's killing kids, it's this guy who's killing them in their dreams. It's psychological. It's he can get you, can you bring your dreams out, all that kind of stuff. But then this element of the parents could have stopped this a long time ago, but it's the parents' mistakes that led to Freddy's creation. And I think that's fascinating. I think that's wild because as a parent, you're trying to protect your kid 100% of the time, and you don't want the bad things to happen to your parents. And of course, that's the whole thing is these parents failed because they did the thing to protect their kids. And then by lying to them, they wound up hurting their kids more.
There she is showing that they have the glove. No, it's every time a parent doesn't listen in this, someone ends up dead.
Yep.
Like Johnny Depp.
Oh, poor Johnny.
I love this movie. It is such a classic. Other than, this is the one thing that always rubs me the wrong way. The rubber mom at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I get it. I get it. There's so many things in this movie that have silly moments or things like that I think they were needed by budget. But that being said, for the budget size, the Johnny Depp kill and the Tina kill, those two kills are fascinating. Yeah. Like, even now, like, I know how they did it, and I still don't think I fully understand. Like, I get it. You had a rotating room.
It looks great still.
Like, yeah, that's phenomenal. Like, it looks better than the reboot that they did in 2010. Like,
that was disappointing. And this sequence is so good. I mean, there's so much. And that I just love the wall. It's such a great pick for the show. I am going to briefly recommend one other film, which is not on this level, but it's a movie that came out in 1995, directed by Ernest Dickerson. I was like, there's no other movies playing. I'm going to just go see it because it's playing. And I was surprised by how fun it is. It is called Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
I've never seen Demon Knight.
It is so fun.
All right, I'm putting that one on there. Devil's Backbone, Tales from the Crypt.
Devil's Backbone is a classier film. This is just a great drive-in schlocky film. I'm going to quickly show the trailer.
A stranger is coming.
Don't scream.
And he's hungry for their souls.
Just hear what I've got to say.
Now, they'll need all of their courage.
Like it or not, we stick together.
To fight the most dangerous evil of all.
They're here! The demons are here!
Supper time.
Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight, rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
It's so fun. It's got great practical effects. And it leans, like you think, Tales from the Crypt is going to be super goofy. But it leans into the horror. There's some good, dark, creepy stuff in there. And I highly recommend it.
You know what's interesting about Tales from the Crypt? I watched it so much as a kid. It is one of those things where, because I've seen most of this. And the thing is I don't remember what is an episode and what is a movie. Like, they all blend together. So I'm like, I don't remember which one was a short one, which was in the movies and all that kind of stuff. So, but obviously I will go back and watch this because of your recommendation.
Yeah, it's no Elm Street. It's no Devil's Backbone, but it is a good time. And there was supposed to be a sequel, but it's not going to happen because it didn't do well. But anyway, thank you so much for your time, Joe. I know you got family and a wife to take care of. So where can people follow and look at what's going on with you?
Yeah, I am on social media, The Chosen Joey, mostly on Instagram, although I really, really am trying not to be on social media, but I'm there.
I get it.
So if
I am
you need
too.
Me, I know. If you need me, it's one of those things where you kind of have to be.
For our business, sort of.
You kind of have to. So, but that's the best place to find me. And then, like I said earlier, Imposters will hopefully be out at the end of this year, early next year.
See it. It's so good.
And then, The Sequence and The Hunted are the next two that I'm working on. So hopefully you get to see those next year too.
And making the festival rounds so people can...
Both of those are in development. Both of those. The Sequence is the short film that's finishing its festival run this weekend.
Okay, I gotcha.
So if you're in LA, and I believe it's the LA Regal, they're doing Indie Short Fest as an all-day event. It's all short films on Saturday, May 9th. So go check it out and vote for us to win.
If you're up for a road trip, can you pick me up on your way to LA?
Sure. Yeah.
You're gonna drive.
You know that I have all the time in the world, so I'm 100%.
Yeah, I know. Bring the baby and the wife. I'll bring my kids and my wife too. And also, can they go to joebandelli.com?
Yeah. joebandelli.com has all of my movies that are released on there, feature and short. It's got some old shit that I've done in the past too, so feel free to go there. But yeah, also shoot me a message. I do respond. So
he does, and he's very nice. You're such a nice guy.
Thank you. You're such a nice guy, and I can't wait to see Super Troopers 3 because of you.
Yeah, you've seen most of my scene already, but it was so fun. Anyway, thank you, Joe. Stand by for 1 second. Like, share, tell your friends, and goodbye.
Jumpscare rewind. Jumpscare rewind.
Flickaholic.